Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Brian's World, where you can be a welcome member of the finer things, and let's just get right into it. So today I thought I would give a small follow-up video on the first After the Hype episode on Ultra Boosts. So I thought I would go ahead and just branch out a little bit and kind of give a more general discussion and information session on the whole history of Boost. So what is Boost, and how did it get so big? And most importantly, how will they fit in the streetwear culture in the near future? Let's find out. So many people actually might not know this, but Boost was actually first worked on in 2007. And it wasn't even first being developed by Adidas. It was actually first being developed by a company named BASF, or BASF? BASF. Their innovation of small capsules that had a lot of high energy return was pitched and later sold to Adidas. After Adidas got their hands on this technology, they were instantly hooked and immediately started finding ways to turn this thing into a whole midsole. By 2012, a lot of research was being done, a lot of prototypes were being manufactured, which led to the very first iteration of any Boost shoe, the Boost Energy. The shoe initially released in 2013, which led to Adidas announcing that they were going to try to put Boost in every and any shoe possible. Even after such a large announcement and with such an innovative technology, the demand for it wasn't very high because it was just being marketed as a regular running shoe. However, one of Boost's big break was in the 2014 Berlin Marathon, where a runner by the name of Dennis Kometo ran the marathon in a world record time in the Adidas Adios Energy Boost shoe. During the same year in 2014, Adidas started making more headway into the basketball world by innovating basketball shoes with Boost, as well as working with companies like Y3 to introduce Boost to the fashion world. Adidas' biggest landmark up to this point was with the Pure Boost, where Y3 used the model as a high-end silhouette to introduce the world out there to Boost. And to the benefit of Adidas, the shoe carried on as much of a performance identity as it did a lifestyle identity as well. The really innovative thing about the Y3 Pure Boost at this time was that the entire sole was made out of Boost. I actually had a pair, and I regret selling them. Fast forward though, this indirectly helped Kanye to get on board with Adidas after he left Nike because of the Boost technology. But more on that another time. So now we find ourselves in 2015, where we finally find the big breakthrough that Adidas was looking for Boost technology. Right after the Pure Boost, the next shoe to debut was, you guessed it, the Ultra Boost. Now we can really go the easy way and just go back and do retrospect on the shoe when it initially released in 2015, but I really want us to go back and put our minds in 2015 and see what people really thought of the shoe at that time. Now at this time, Adidas labeled the shoe just as a running shoe and actually labeled it with marketing as the best running shoe ever. The first color available for pre-order was the triple white colorway in May of 2015. And with seemingly perfect timing, Kanye West was seen wearing this exact shoe at his Billboard Music Award performance with that iconic picture that everyone has seen all around social media. Within hours of the Billboard spotting on Kanye, the pre-orders were exhausted and the Ultra Boost craze began. This was really the turning point for Ultra Boost because this is when everyone really started figuring out what Boost was. I mean, before Yeezy Boost, of course. And of course, this was my introduction to the technology and the shoe itself, which means I had to get a couple pairs myself, you know what I'm saying? Although the popularity of Boost skyrocketed, that also caused a lot of problems for Adidas, as the popularity and the demand were so high that no one could really get a pair at this point in time. And of course, because of the Kanye effect and everything else with the demand and the popularity of the shoe, this led to an astronomical rise in the resale price of the shoes. I remember at one point I was actually looking for the triple white colorway of the Ultra Boost 1.0 on eBay, and I saw the resale price was like $500, which was low at the time, but I still looked at it and I was like, hell nah! Then I saw the cream colorway on eBay and it said like $700, and I was like, hell nah! At the end of the day, the point remained that Ultra Boost was being sold out literally everywhere. Even my full-on Korean pastor had a pair of green highlighter Ultra Boosts, and I looked at him and I was like, hey, can I get those? So whether it was unfortunate or not for the consumer, for the first 2 years with the 1.0 and the 2.0 iterations of the Ultra Boost, it was really hard to get a pair. But I think Adidas kind of took this time to reflect on what they were doing with the demand of the shoe, and they started releasing the shoe in mass iterations with the 3.0. I don't have a 2.0 or 3.0 on me right now, but I do have two different colorways of the 1.0. This one's a wolf gray, and I actually bought this off my friend who uncaged the shoe, but I still really like these. This is also the black, just the normal black Ultra Boost 1.0 colorway, not the OG because it doesn't have the purple heel tab, but I still really like the shoe regardless. And with the release of the 3.0s and the 4.0s this past year, and with the 5.0s coming out next year soon, that really leads me to ask, what is the current state of Ultra Boost and what will it be in the future? I feel like later on, Adidas kind of later decided to play it safe and just mass produce the shoe just to give the consumers what they wanted because they knew that they were going to make money that way. That ultimately also led to the decline of the shoe in popularity and hype. And like I said, they're on their way to a 5th iteration, and I don't really see the demand of the Ultra Boost really rising from here on out anymore. Which leads me to another point in Boost history about the NMD. The NMD was one of the next super popular Boost shoes, and they're not even running shoes. And they had hella high resale prices when they first released. Some were understandable, like with the Pharrell collab and the OG colorways, but I mean, when some colors were reaching $1,000 for a walking shoe, honestly the only notable thing to say about NMDs is that throughout 2016 and a little bit of 2017, they had a huge craze and trend wave, but then they just kind of went out of their way just as quickly as they were popular. I'll admit, I fell into the hype a little bit back in the day, but then I realized that I don't really like the silhouette as much as I do with the Ultra Boost, and if I was to have any Boost shoe, I might as well invest it into the Ultra Boost or a Yeezy Boost. Now I mentioned some earlier, but Adidas really used the NMD and the Ultra Boost as a platform to collaborate with artists and other brands. Some notable ones are again with Y3, Pharrell, but other ones are also with Soulbox, SNS, Hypebeast, and even Undefeated. And I know that as I'm closing this video, I'm skipping out on one of the most iconic Boost silhouettes ever, the Yeezy Boost. I mean, obviously. But there was already so much to say in this one video, and I didn't want to make it too long, and I really think that the Yeezy Boost has its own right to have its own video. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and cut it right here, and I hope you stay tuned for the future video about the history of Yeezy Boost. With that said, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I really hope it was informative and helpful to you all to understand the history behind some of the shoes that y'all might be wearing yourself. Go ahead and like this video, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet, and go ahead and share it as well. Again, this is Brian's World, and I'll catch you guys next time.